Hey guys, Drizer here, coming at you with my first deck profile. Going to be having some feature matches up on the channel for you later this week to check out. So I figured I might as well do a deck profile on the deck that I've been running. War Darkfire, a couple of my own choices here. It's been doing pretty well online and in store. I kind of tweaked it out a little bit here and there every week. So I think I've gotten a pretty good version of it now. So I want to see what you guys think. Leave a comment with any fixes that you may have, or give me some of your opinion on certain cards. Alright, so might as well get into it. I'm running blockers first. I'm running 2 Refi, 1 Flare-Gale Manta, and 2 Frogzuka. The Refi obviously for the early game rush. Hold those off pretty quickly. The Flare-Gale I like at 1, just because it's a nice turn 3, just in case the rush overwhelms you and you don't have something to take care of it quickly. You know, it gives you that extra turn 3 to throw something down if you really need to. And then the 2 Frogzuka, I don't have it maxed. I think it's good at 2 right now, especially to take care of Gilflame. Most people in a control deck are running 2 Gilflame. So I mean, if you can trade off a Gilflame, that's a really, really good play for a control deck right now. So I like my blocker set, especially in the water section. I think it's been running pretty consistently throughout all my games here. Then we got the draw power. 3 logo scan, obviously just an amazing card. You have to run it. If you don't, I don't know what you're doing. I don't run any spy missions. I run 3 Hydro Spy, and then I run 2 Reef Prince Clerval. I like the Reef Prince. Oftentimes I take a logo scan with it, so I get the extra 2 cards from the Reef Prince, so that's always a good play, especially when you have 8 mana. And then the basic Hydro Spy 3. I don't run Seneschal, I don't like him. So I think Hydro Spy is, you get the guaranteed +1. So I run 3 of those, 3 logos, and then 2 Reef. So I think that's enough draw power for right now. I mean, we don't have any targeted discard, but that might change once we get base set. I know we're getting the remake of Lost Soul. So it might be necessary to use more draw power once the new set comes out. It's something to consider, definitely. So then we got the spells. We got Ice Blades, 2 of them, and then 1 teleport. Some people I know are running 2 teleport. It's kind of dropped off since the Tetsuri versus Razor Kinder meta, but I think it's still good at 1. You know, it gives you an extra turn and an extra card to try to get rid of your opponent's finisher or something else on those terms. So definitely good at 1. Then Ice Blade, I like it 2, just because, you know, it helps you in the early game rush, and then you can also, you know, bring fumes back to your hand. So it's definitely a good card. I'd like it over Veil Vortex just because it's an earlier card, so you can just bounce the little guys, which is mainly what I need help with most of the time. Veil Vortex, you know, you're going to be hitting Razor Kinders, you're going to be hitting other big guys, and I don't really think it's worth it at that point. So I don't run Veil Vortex. I like the 2 Ice Blade and then the 1 teleport, so I don't think Veil Vortex is really needed at this point. I mean, that could obviously change once the base set comes out, but for now I like it. I like Ice Blade over Veil Vortex. So I'm running 2 Skeeter and 1 Dream Pirate. I'm not a huge fan of Skeeter right now. I know that sounds weird, but 4,000, I mean, there's not really much that's coming in at 4,000 right now, so, you know, he's usually blocking like a 1,000 guy. I consider dropping him for Flare-Gale Mantas. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely something I'm considering. I'm really testing it right now to see which I like better, but so far he hasn't really done too much. And then at one point during the Battle Deck meta, I was running 3 Dream Pirate. I thought he was that good, but he's kind of dipped off since Dojo came out. So I got him down to 1. He's still a pretty good card, but 3 for 3,000 blocker. I mean, he can attack, but it's kind of situational. But I still like him at 1, just, you know, just to get that 1 attack through if you do need it. So I think he's good at 1. That's about it, though. And then I'm running a single Black Feather. He has some nice tech. You know, I got all kinds of destruction spells in here. I haven't gotten to those yet, but and then I often attack my opponent's creatures, so I can draw a lot of cards off him. And then, you know, if the ruling actually is if you bump with him, you actually get to still draw your cards. So definitely something to consider. I don't like him at 2 or 3. I think 1 is perfect. You know, he gets over Bone Blades, so it's always good. Your opponent will have to waste like a Tornado Flame or Terror Pit or something else on him. So he baits out some other removal that can save your other guys too, so it's something nice to have. And then for my discard, I'm running 3 Fumes and 3 Spectre Claw. So I love Spectre Claw, especially if you're going second. If you're going second, if I do the dice roll or whatever, flip coin, and I see that I have a Spectre Claw in my hand and I won the roll, I actually choose to go second just to get that huge hand advantage. Just because, if you turn 2 Spectre Clawing and they're already down a card, they're already down 2 cards and it's turn 3 for them, so it can be pretty devastating. And then, you follow that up with a turn 4 Fumes, and unless they logo scan the turn 3, their hand's really low if they've played any cards, so definitely something to consider when you're playing these cards. So I know a lot of people are, so I like it at 3 apiece. Then we have the Destruction. I'm running 2 Razor Kinder. I'm running 3 Bone Blade, which is pretty standard. And then I'm running 3 Tire Pits, which is standard. I did have Death Smoke in this deck at one point. I definitely dropped it. It's not as good since Dojo came out. So I kept the 2 Razor Kinders, still 7 cost, 4,000 body with a Death Smoke attached. So he's still really, really good, which I was kind of surprised at because when he got announced, I thought he was really bad, but he's really good. And then Bone Blades is just one of the best cards in the game. I think top 5. It's just so good. It hits anything worth playing almost. It hits Gilliflame. That's huge. So definitely need to max out at 3. If you're not playing 3, I don't know what else you're running over it, but definitely need to run 3 of those. And then 3 Tire Pit. I saw some people running 1 and 2 Tire Pits on the forums. Doesn't make sense to me. Tire Pit, you need to run 3. There's just not enough big removal to get rid of guys. You need to run 3 Tire Pit. I don't know what else you can even run to get rid of big guys. You've got Root Trap. You can bump with Ball Tail. You need 3 Tire Pit. And finally, we have the red. I'm actually running 2 Little Hissy. Seems like an odd choice. I know he's gotten some hate. I like him definitely a lot, especially turn 3. If you're facing rush or aggro, he can really control the board. Especially if people are playing like the Dracon, Weapon Smith and stuff. He's attacking them when they're at 1,000 power, even if they haven't attacked yet. So great card. He bounces with Fumes. He hits over Hydro Spy. He hits Reef Prince Glargle. He can just really has a lot of board control. And as you see in a couple of seconds, I'm going to be showing you Lord Sky Crusher. So if I can pull that combo off, it's pretty devastating to have him get 7,000 power. So I like him at 2. I wouldn't run 3, but at 2 I think he's good. Just to hold off the early rush, just another option, hold off the early rush, and then late game is actually not bad if he can, he can crash into a Bloody Skeeto or something if need be, so save some of your other guys too. And then I'm running 2 Gilliflame, pretty standard at this point. I haven't really seen anyone try to run 3 yet, but I know he's given a lot of people problems without the lack of targeted discard. It's definitely a great card. He's getting a lot of hype, but to an extent, I think it's pretty well deserved because it's a pretty pesky card to deal with. So I run 2. I'm not gonna run 3. 2 is fine. You always got it in your hand too, so it's not like you're losing any hand advantage when you hit the shield. But so he's good at 2. Like I said, he's getting a lot of hype. I don't know if I'd give him as much hype as he's getting, but he's definitely a good card. And then I'm running 2 Lord Sky Crusher, and then 2 Ball Tail Dragon as my finishers. Sky Crusher is just a devastating card. Especially against aggro and other control decks if they can't take care of him first turn. He's bumping up your other guys 5,000 power and giving them double breaker. And all he has to do is get off an attack. So if your opponent can't deal with him the turn he's played, they're not sitting on the Terror Pit, then these cards are just amazing. I usually try to get them down to no hand and then just plop them on the field, and there's really nothing they can do. And then, Ball Tail, arguably the best finisher in the game right now, just coming in for 2 shields at 8 mana, 7,000 power, great. There's no reason not to run at least 2 of these cards. They're just that good. So Twitty Sky Terror was always a good card, even at 7 for 7, but even 8 for 7 in this game is really, really good. So, and then to just round the deck off, I'm running 2 Comet Missile and then 3 Tornado Flame. I like Comet Missile just because so many blockers. You know, average control deck is running 8 to 10 blockers, so these help me get through, especially, you know, if I have Gilflame in my hand, 6, I can always calm it and then hit a shield or something. Or, you know, if it's turn, I just played Sky Crusher turn 7, you know, turn 8, I'm throwing Gilflame, hitting with a Comet Missile, I'm coming in for 4 shields. So, pretty devastating, I think, if, you know, your opponent thinks they're safe with their blockers. But then 3 Tornado Flame, you know, definitely need to run 3 Tornado Flame if you're running red. That's my opinion, just because of extra removal for Gilflame if it's hitting the shields. It hits the Quill Spike Tetzer, which can be really, really annoying in this game. You can't really attack him too much, so Tornado Flame is the perfect removal for him. You know, they throw him down turn 5, use Tornado Flame right away, so you don't have to attack him, which is awesome. So that was my deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I mean, like I said, leave any comments or anything you have at the bottom, any fixes that you may have, tell me what you think. And as always, I'm Drizer. This was my deck profile.